reading destination. I hope that you are excited as I am to continue our story, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. And we are on chapter 9, and it's called Wayfarers All. It was the height of summer, and some of the greens were starting to turn gold, while some of the trees were reddening. Rat felt restless and did not know why. He decided to take a walk. All around him, animals flitted about. The field mice were digging and tunneling. "Here comes Ratty," they cried when they saw him. "Help us out." "What are you doing?" Rat asked. "It's much too early to start building winter homes." "Oh, yes, we know," replied the mice, "but we like to begin early and get the best places. We're making a start." "Forget about starts," Rat said. "Let's go for a row or a stroll." "Maybe some other time," said the mice, "when we have finished." Rat walked away. He felt grumpy. He went back to his river, which never packed up or moved into a winter home. He spotted a yellow bird in the trees. It was joined by another, and then another. Soon there were many birds sitting in the trees. "Heading south already?" Rat asked. "What's the hurry?" "We're not leaving yet," called the first swallow. "We're simply making our plans and mapping our route." "If you have to leave your home and friends," Rat said, "why pretend you're happy about it? Why talk about it sooner than you have to?" "You don't understand," said one of the swallows. "We feel a sweet unrest that urges us to move on each year at this time." "Couldn't you stay just this 1 year?" Rat asked sadly. "We'll all make you very comfortable." "I tried to stay 1 year," said another swallow, "but the air was so cold and the days were so dark. There were no insects in sight. I had to fly through snowstorms to reach the sun again. Now I always heed the call." "Ah, yes, the call of the south," said the other swallows dreamily. "Why do you bother come back then?" Rat asked curiously. "In due time, we get the opposite call too," said the first swallow. "We get homesick for the water lilies," added the second swallow. Still restless, Rat wandered off. Suddenly, he was very curious about the unknown. Gazing south, he wondered what sun-bathed coasts were out there waiting to be discovered. What quiet harbors had he never seen? He heard the sound of footsteps coming toward him. Rat looked up to find a dusty sea rat coming down the road. The wayfarer saluted Rat. Smiling, he turned and sat down in the grass. He looked very tired. He was lean and wore gold earrings. His pants were torn and patched. He carried his belongings in a blue cotton handkerchief. "I can sense that there is a river close by," said the wayfarer. "And I can see that you are a mariner. It must be a good life you lead." "Yes, it's the only life to lead," Rat said dreamily. "Not exactly," replied the stranger. "I tried it for 6 months. It was good, but I got the call to go back to my old life." "Where do you come from?" Rat asked. "A nice little farm," replied the stranger. His eyes were focused on the horizon. "You are not one of us," Rat said. "You are not even from this country." "You're right," replied the stranger. "I come from a far-off place called Constantinople. I am a seafarer." "You must go on many great voyages," Rat said. He liked the stranger. "Do you spend months at sea with food and water running low?" "No, that kind of life would never do for me," said the sea rat. "It's the great life of the ports I love." "Tell me about your travels," said the water rat. "Today, my life seems very limited." "My last voyage landed me here," said the sea rat. "I started out in a small vessel in Constantinople. We went from harbor to harbor. We had golden days and balmy nights. I slept during the day, enjoyed music and feasts at night. We passed through Venice. What a fine city!" He was silent for a while, and Rat was captivated. "Isn't life at sea hard?" Rat asked. "It is for the crew," said the sea rat with a wink. The sea rat told more fascinating tales of life at sea and of the beauties of far-off ports. For a time, he said he led a lazy life among the peasants near the Mediterranean. After many stories, the water rat invited the sea rat to his hole for lunch. "That is downright brotherly of you," said the sea rat. "But could you bring the food out here? I'm not fond of going underground." The water rat raced home and packed a lunch basket with all kinds of fine foods. He hurried back and set it before his new friend. After they had eaten and the sea rat was no longer hungry, he continued telling stories of his exciting adventures. He had grown tired of sailing the seas and wanted to try life on a quiet farm. The water rat quivered with excitement. "Why don't you come on my next voyage, brother?" the sea rat suggested. "Heed the call. One step will take you out of your old life and into a new one." Then the stranger went on his way. The water rat loaded up the basket and walked home. He packed some of his treasured possessions into a satchel. He felt as if he were in a dream. As he was about to walk out the door, he bumped into Mole. "Where are you going?" Mole asked as he grabbed Rat by the arm. "South, with everyone else," Rat mumbled. He moved forward. Mole was alarmed to see that his eyes were glazed and seemed to belong to someone else. Mole blocked the way and held him down. Rat struggled for a while, but then he gave up. He lay still and then began to tremble. Mole sat by his side and waited for this strange fit to pass. Finally, Rat fell into a deep sleep. Mole was very worried, but he tried to take his mind off his friend's strange behavior by doing household chores. When he returned to the parlor, Rat was where he left him, sitting awake and silent. His eyes had returned to normal. Rat tried his best to explain what had happened, but he could not. The spell was broken and the enchantment had ended. Mole began talking casually about harvests and wagons and everyday things. Slowly, the joys of their cozy home life came back to Rat. He joined in the conversation. Mole fetched a pencil and some paper. "It's been a long time since you've written any poetry, Ratty," Mole said. Soon, Rat was writing poems, deaf to the world around him. Mole felt happy to see that Rat was settling down to his old self. And that's the end of chapter 9. Ooh, we're coming to the end, I think. It looks like it. Look. Well, I hope you're enjoying this story. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time a new video is posted. And be sure to share with all of your friends. Bye-bye for now.